Hello everyone, and welcome to the Series 2 premiere of Star Trek Wolf-Rayet, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition game using the rules by Modiphius Entertainment. My name is E11, the Game Master, and joining me are a lovely group of individuals who'll meet right away, because today is either going to be a really short episode or a really long one. It depends on some roles. But we'll start with Caspian. Caspian, who you playing? Anything you want to shout out?
Hello, everyone. I'm Caspian. I'm playing Captain Lance Cannon, the human captain of the Wolf-Rayet. I don't really have any shout outs right now, so I'll move it on to Whiskey.
Hello, I'm Whiskey. I'm playing Captain Meridian. Captain Meridian has built something fun for you all today to experience that will either go perfectly or horrifically wrong. And I will shout out the voices in Mitz's head since they're not here to shout it out for themselves.
Fair. The voices always need shouting out. That's how you placate them.
Yes.
But yeah, Kern, what do you got going on?
I'm Kern. I play Commander Kishin, and he's the Chief of Security. And I have no shoutouts either, but definitely looking forward to getting back into the game.
All right, well, let's run the intro vid and we'll get started. And welcome back. Now, normally we would start with a captain's log, but given the interesting nature of what Meridian has constructed, I think it's just better to start in media res in the engine room, as Meridian explains the unholy abomination of what she's created. So you're all there. Meridian, you're next to the drive. You haven't yet contained the black hole or turn your protostar into a black hole, but you have everything ready. You just have to push the button. But I'm going to let you explain and convince everybody else that it's a good idea.
All right, so before I go over this in too much detail, who here actually read the briefing pamphlet?
Nobody raises their hand.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I guess we'll start from the top. We're going to convert it from a regular protostar drive to a Phase-Chroniton Displacement black hole containment protowarp drive. Now that is very long, so conveniently I have come up with the acronym PCDBHCPD for short. You can just call it the Meridian drive because no one's remembering that.
We're not calling you that, Meridian. I've already told you no.
What else is there to call it?
Hey, you had a chance to make up a good acronym, so you can continue to call it the Phase-Chroniton Displacement Black Hole Containment Proto Warp Drive.
Okay, fine. I have plenty of time to come up with a better name. Point is, what we have here is we're using the black hole as our power source. We are then shifting that power into the phase cloak, and then we are also routing chronotons into the phase cloak, which allows us to shift to the secondary time axis known as imaginary time, which means we can traverse space without time passing. To everybody else on the outside, it's like we teleport. Like, you will be able to look out the view screens or look out the glass on the bridge. Everything around us has stopped. We can then traverse at, specifically, she pulls out some math on a spreadsheet, scrolls down to the bottom, 33,729 light years a minute. because we will be traveling through both regular space and also through imaginary time as a spatial dimension, which I can give you the math on later that doesn't need to make sense now, but trust me, it works. So we just zoom through space and time, completely disconnected from regular space-time, and then we can arrive at the exact instant we left. We can technically arrive before we left, or we can arrive anytime after we want. I've quadruple checked the equations and haven't slept in 3 days running the math on this. It is completely safe.
I'm getting a migraine just thinking about it.
You've been talking about this for 3 weeks. Imagine how I feel.
It's completely safe.
Why did you make air quotes when you said safe?
Well, let's just say if we do some of the more exciting things, like arrive before we leave, there's a good possibility that some kind of time police will show up. So good news is we're completely safe from regular corporeal entities of three-dimensional space. The problem is anything capable of traversing through imaginary time will know we're there and will be very obvious because, well, you know how loud, like visually and everything, the regular proto-warp is in regular space?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we're instead of doing that in regular space, we're doing that over imaginary time, which is both a time and spatial dimension. So it's probably fine. Worst case, you know.
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably
Probability.
fine. All of this is probability. She literally scrolls through like 300 pages of pure mathematics explaining very clearly how the drive works. She goes, listen, we're
I'm so
explorers.
glad I have a mask on. I can close my eyes and fall asleep and nobody knows.
We're explorers. We can explore a place no one else has explored. Plus, like, I've run the math. We can, from right here, we can take the long way, not even going through the gate. We could take the long way back to Starfleet Academy in approximately an hour of experienced time. To everybody else, it looks like we've instantaneously teleported. To which point, they'll say, wow, you got here fast. And Cannon, you can say, thanks, we took the long way.
How did you get this approved by Starfleet? Do you like owe an admiral? Does an admiral owe you like a stack of latinum or something?
Yes, but that is not related.
Okay, well, figure you're gonna blow us up one way or the other, so let's go ahead and give this a shot.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Step 1 is you have to crunch your existing protostar down into a black hole. This is very difficult. And if this fails, bad things are going to happen. Like I said, this could be a very short session. So,
I mean,
this
we can
is
do it from inside the other protostar. I just have to make that bigger, but there's no need to worry about that. We can just do it here. It's
so
totally safe.
here's what you got to roll. You got to roll me a daring engineering from Meridian.
Of course.
The Wolf-Rayet is going to be assisting you within engines and engineering. The difficulty, as you may expect, is already a 5.
Yeah. Focus of subspace mechanics.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was also going to use gravimetric protostar containment, which I really need to swap that focus for this new thing. You see, here's this great thing.
Well, the Wolf-Rayet did not help you, so you got to come up with 5 successes on your own.
This is fine. Well, I already need to give you one treat, so take all of the treats.
So just to be clear, you are giving me 6 threat. Is that correct?
I would like to roll 5 dice. And I will also be using a determination.
Well, if you're using determination, okay, because 2nd edition rules. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta grab a value. That's on a different tab now, isn't it? Got it. When I switch these data systems. Hang on. Okay. Technology is only as trustworthy as the one who created it, and I'm fucking creating it, so we can trust this completely.
All right, well, just make sure you mark that value that you've used it, because that's how character advancement works in 2nd edition.
Yes. Denoting that real fast. I really should denote it after we've concluded whether or not we explode. Using determination or value. Okay.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
I would like to re-roll the complication.
You have bold engineering, I presume.
Yes, I do.
Which is why 1 in 400 odds to roll another 20, so
Yeah, and I don't have the quick reroll button anymore, so I guess we got to do the same thing again, right? Perform task. Using focus 1. That's fine.
So not a complication. So you actually get a momentum. Well done there.
Good for everybody else.
For everybody else, as Meridian pushes the button, you're looking at where the protostar is normally contained. And the containment vessel has been majorly reinforced since you last really looked at it. It is now in line with the alien vessel that you met at the end of last season, where they had literal singularities in their core, and that's how they were, traversing through protostar, or protowarp was through singularity drive, aka black holes. So what you see is that the protostar is crunching down and down and down and down until eventually it hits critical mass. The space-time inside the containment inverts, and you are now looking at a contained black hole, which is a little maddening. Like, to have something this deadly, this warping of space-time, and you're just casually messing with it, does a number on your psyche. Even if you have no idea what's going on, it's like looking into the abyss, and the abyss is looking back at you and going, don't come any closer, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yep. And Meridian will actively try and convince everyone it is safer now, it won't explode.
I'm not worried about exploding. We're about it crunching us down into nothingness.
Well, that's painless.
Yeah, except for when you get spaghetti-fied.
Don't think about it.
I'm spending 2 threat that immediately the computer alerts, alert! Gravimetric protostar containment vessel exceeding normal parameters.
That's fine. Of course we're exceeding normal parameters, she says. Trying to make everybody think it's totally fine as she's just flipping through a tab on her datapad trying to make sure it's not actually about to explode.
All right, well, give me a reason engineering difficulty of 2.
Woo! Reason engineering. It's engineering, and I really don't want it to explode. So, anybody have any objections to me giving 1 treat?
13 is a Borg cube.
But we're not. We're not in. I assume we're not in. I should clarify first. Are we in Milky Way or Andromeda right now?
You're in Andromeda.
That's fine. There's no Borg cubes here.
That you know of.
There's only 2 of the things from the other intro. Yeah, temporally displaced. We trigger a temporally displaced Borg cube as I activate the drive.
Great.
God damn it. All right. So yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the treat. Do I have a focus? I got power systems, subspace mechanics, gravimetric, protostar containment.
Yeah, you have multiple.
I figured. All right. Focus. Determination 0. 3 roll dice.
Okay, well, you actually get a momentum out of it. So I'm going to make this declaration now, and until there is significant work otherwise, this is the rule. If at any point the 2 warp cores that keep the containment fail, If at any point you lose those 2 warp drives, the Wolf-Rayet will be catastrophically destroyed by the black hole escaping containment.
That is fine. I don't need to deal with that. We have a second one. She
Well-
says out loud as no one hears what.
No, I think you didn't understand what he's saying.
Oh,
I want to be clear on this one, where the normal protostar drive blowing up is already pretty bad. So basically, if a protowarp drive blows up, you take out an entire sector. And if you go to
Yes.
protowarp at the same time as an explosion, you create a space-time rift that everybody in the whole entire Milky Way can see, kind of a thing.
Yes.
If you lose containment on this, if it detonates, you're not taking out a sector. You're taking out an entire quadrant.
Brady just stares at the math and goes, Cannon, I have good news and bad news. Which one do you want first?
Didn't want either,
Okay, I'll keep it to myself then.
but please share.
Okay, so, it is stable. For now.
At least something here is.
Yeah,
Oh,
so, we've made something worse than a bomb.
Wow.
I thought you told me this was supposed to be safer than the protostar.
It will be when I fix it. For now, as long as she points to the auxiliary warp cores. Well, ideally, we shouldn't need those. We need those right now. If we stop having those, just remove a quadrant from the map.
Wow.
So, I am hereby denoting our propulsion system extra classified. Like, shoot anyone who tries to inspect it.
ESH
Anyway,
activates and says, I understand there is someone I need to be shooting.
Not right now.
You don't do any shooting. I do the shooting.
Oh, well, here you go. And he hands you a phaser.
Oh, thank you.
Good. For later. I'm pretty sure I can fix it.
Pretty sure?
Well, yeah, I need to run scans. I haven't done scans yet. I've just looked at the math. Again, it's fine for now. We can continue with testing, but...
It's fine for now.
Yeah, as long as we don't lose containment.
I'm not liking these conditionals here.
Okay, fine. You want me to fix it now before
For
we have fun?
now.
I'll fix it now.
Yes, please fix it now.
Okay.
Please do.
Radiant just sighs and goes, we could be flying across the universe faster than anybody else has, but sure, I'll fix your conditionals. Radiant would like to fix the thing.
So here's the problem with fixing the thing, is that it's not something that you can just replicate a fix for. It's not something that you can just go, oh, and I technobabble my way out of this. This is one of those very rare instances where I have to have a hard rule. Where on your own, you cannot take away the 2 warp cores. You cannot adjust them. You can keep them running. God, keep them running. Please, oh God, why? But in order to safely, keyword safely, shut down the black hole containment drive, in order to safely upgrade one or more of the warp cores, you have to do it at a star dock. And it's one of those situations where they literally just evacuate entire worlds just in case something goes wrong.
Radiant just sits here and goes, yeah, we're gonna need the most advanced space dock that we have to fix that.
Most advanced space dock we have is around Utopia Policia. So you're telling me you want to take a ship
1 hour
that could
detour.
possibly... You're telling me you want to take a ship that could destroy a quadrant deep into the heart of the Federation.
Or we just move Utopia Planitia.
What?
We just move the entire Utopia Planitia shipyard. She says, fully understanding that that's an insane thing to say. Or we just have them build another one. But, you know, details, details. Point is, can't fix it now. We'll fix it later.
I have this feeling later's not going to come.
Later will come eventually. That's why it's called later. What's the worst that can happen?
All right, she said it.
Don't
Everybody heard her. She said it.
Yeah. That's like using the Q word.
Don't bring Q into this.
Oh, go to him, old Kevin. No, I'm not gonna cue you. No.
And definitely don't tell L. Or the rest of the alphabet soup. Anyway, details. Do we want to try it?
Sure. What else could go wrong today?
Oh, wow.
The most resigned sure I've ever heard in my life.
That enthusiasm just bowled me over.
All right, so where do we want to point this thing? In what direction? Obviously not the Alpha Quadrant. I think we've concluded that one.
No, we like the Alpha Quadrant, so let's not go there.
Yeah. Computer, what's the
Let's just-
longest Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, let's just aim for the other side of the Andromeda Galaxy.
Oh, that's so short.
Well, you need a test run. I figure a galaxy should be enough to start with.
There, I was going to say we just go for broke and for our first jump, break the longest continual jump distance.
We have to make sure it works first.
That's fair. All right. Are we currently near the... What side of Andromeda are we on right now?
You're nearest to Pandora's Gate, not like in the same system, but you're nearby.
All right, so we're going to jump as far as we can from...
In that direction.
Yes. Actually, should we just jump to the middle of... Should we, like, jump past the galaxy a bit?
Out into the dark recesses of the void? Sure.
Where there's less things? Shrugs?
Okay.
I feel like it's slightly safer than arriving... The odds of us arriving near someone that's going to have a problem with us arriving in the middle of the void is less.
As an above table question, does Andromeda have a galactic barrier like the Milky Way does?
You have yet to find out.
Ooh.
Guess we're
jump.
finding out.
Let's find out.
All right, well, by my reckoning and by my understanding of how big Andromeda is and how far you want to go, this is the roll you have to make. This is a control and science task, assisted by the ship's engine science. And since you are traveling such a large distance, the base difficulty is a 5. However, I have 13 threat. So I'm immediately going to spend 4 of it to make your complication range a 16 to 20. And then I'm going to spend another 2 threat on top of that to make it a difficulty of 6.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think I probably got the best control science out of all of us, out of 15 combined.
Yeah, my science is less than my engineering. I could build the drive. I shouldn't activate the drive.
ESH.
Yeah, make the ESH do it. Hey, ESH, poke the button.
I think Canon has better control science overall, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I've got better by 1. All right, so we got to get a 6 out of this.
And the ship is assisting with what?
Engine science.
Engine science.
Okay.
I've got it covered.
Awesome. I shouldn't touch this.
Can I talk you into a focus on composure?
Yeah.
Sure, you know what? It's funny. Why not?
I'm also going to I'm going to use my determination, stay calm in the storm, because we're
Uh-huh.
literally flying a bomb.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we are.
I'm going to give you 1 momentum and the rest in threat to roll 5 dice.
All right.
And what do I need to set the complication range for?
You need to put it to 5.
Well, it's nice knowing y'all.
So if we successfully do this, this should only take 4.5 minutes.
So
speed
that
calculations
is
are correct.
7 successes with a complication. You have the chance, if you so wish, to buy off that complication with your 2 precious momentum.
Well, considering the alternative is scattering ourselves across the void, that's
Or
probably a
time.
good idea.
I would recommend it.
Right. So here's what happens. You go back up to the bridge, you settle into the controls, and you see that there's now a second throttle in addition to normal proto-warp speeds that Meridian has installed at some point, where instead of it, going like proto-warp, regular warp, warp 9, blah, 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 there's now a slider which goes from proto-warp, plaid, ludicrous speeds, and then black hole speeds.
Okay. Wow.
Now, you of course go right past plaid, right past ludicrous into black hole speeds. And what happens is that looking outside of the glass on the bridge, what you see is that, as Meridian explained, everything has frozen. And as far as you can tell, you're not flying into anything. You are just going so fast that everything is a blur. But what you also notice is that you are traveling through utter darkness, where normal warp, you see stars going by, or there's the blue tunnel. We've seen various versions of what warp looks like in a Starfleet vessel. This is very different. This is just the sheer absence of anything outside. It's like that one episode of Voyager where they're going through. I don't remember the name of the region of space, but the region of space where nominally it would have taken them like 2 or 3 years to get past, and everybody was super depressed and like, oh god, there's nothing out there, kind of a thing. Same sort of thing here. There is nothing out there, and when you finally come to a stop and you scale back the engine and you come to a full and complete stop, you're between galaxies. The Andromeda Galaxy you can see to screen left, and you can see the Milky Way Galaxy to screen right. And then, because you are in interstellar void, or intergalactic void even, you just sort of see galaxies and nebula and things that are so large of structures that would normally be occluded by the light of a galaxy. It's like the equivalent of going to like the middle of the Sahara Desert, or going out into the middle of the ocean and looking up at the stars.
Looking at the sky.
Yeah, and looking at the sky. You are seeing things that no one has ever seen before.
Ooh.
We should definitely take a sensor scan.
Well, before you do that, I have 12 threat.
You do?
Going to spend 2 of it to say that as you land and as you begin taking sensor scans, your sensors do immediately alarm you that there is a collision alert. And the ship automatically moves and, shunts power to the deflector shields as something brushes against the ship. Now, you don't take any damage, but you still do a little bit of a Star Trek shimmy as you frantically trying to figure out what hit you. And the cause is very evident, where you look outside and you see what is essentially a fractal worm of some kind. And I mean worm is like WYRM worm, where the worm itself is You know, it's serpentine, it's got a little bit of draconic features, but it's also fractal in design, where it just has the perfect ratio over and over and over and over again. But the most alarming thing isn't the fact that this thing is like the largest spaceborne creature you have ever seen in your life. The fact is that depending on who's looking at it and for how long, it's changing size. So for Meridian, this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. For Canon, it stays the same. For Keshin, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and then explodes to this ginormous, galactic sized creature, and then it shrinks again, kind of a thing. So you're all seeing different views of the same creature, but it's pretty safe to say that this is something that nobody has ever encountered before.
Well, I'm going to call over our emerging science officer and ask for him to scan that to see what it is.
Well, I have good news and bad news. Bad news is I have no idea what that is. Sensors are not even detecting it. But good news is it doesn't seem to be hostile. It just is sort of there.
But as the ship's computer, Carl, you can see that, right?
So well, visually, yes.
Good. It's not a hallucination, then.
Okay. Is it for you also growing in size constantly?
Oh yes, it is very erratic. It is rapidly changing size and shape. It is a very interesting thing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and assume this is my fault. This is
we all know it's your fault.
Okay. So we'll put it in the logs as Meridian oopsied a fractal worm? Wacko?
Could we possibly have picked this up on our trip through the imaginary time you were talking about?
Well, it definitely probably could have. It,
Or perhaps we've entered its reality, I guess.
True. We should probably, for...
Well, first of all, it's a first contact situation there.
Yeah, we're definitely where no man's gone before here.
Yeah, I would say a one hand probably for his contact protocols. The other hand, we should probably scan its phase variance. If we can, well, not really detecting anything on it.
If we can use sensors to do that, yeah.
Yeah, if at any point we gain the ability to scan it, check its phase variance. We should probably check the phase variance of, I guess, the interstellar dust, because that's about the only thing in range, I would assume. Make sure that we've collapsed back into the same space-time.
We could also try hailing it.
Good idea.
Well, you tell me how you want to do it.
Mr. Keshin, open a general hailing frequency to it. See if it responds.
All right, we'll use sound waves, yep.
All right.
I'll do that.
I'm trying to find a picture of this thing real quick, because if anybody has ever actually read the Immortals Handbook, the Epic Bestiary, this is a Nexus Dragon. Which, if you're not aware what a Nexus Dragon is, oh boy. I'm just trying to find, because I thought I had the PDF and I have to, let me see, is this it?
I'm sure you can type Nexus Dragon.
Oh, Google, I found it. Here we are. Page 66. Nope, that's a Time Dragon. I want a Nexus Dragon.
Which is, I'm sure, related to the Time Dragon.
All right. I'm going to screenshot this and put it in Wolf-Rayet chat. This is what you are looking at right now.
Wow.
That is what you were looking at.
Oh, dear God, what have I done?
Okay.
That's a thing.
Wow.
Actually, it's like 3 things glued together, but yeah, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4 or 7.
How's those hailing frequencies coming?
Well, working on it.
I hope it doesn't deduce attempting to say hi as a threat.
Well,
Because I have not built the new weapons.
here's what you're gonna have to do. Is you're gonna have to give me a control and a command, and this will be assisted by the Wolf-Rayet's communications and command. And this is going to be a difficulty, probably a difficulty of 4.
We do not have the momentum for these difficulties.
I just used the threat.
Well, you got an assist from Wolf-Rayet, so you got that going for you.
Something to look forward to. Oh, I'm not doing that other one.
Well, you're not putting in the hailing frequencies yet?
Oh yeah, I got the hailing frequencies open, but you're the one who's gonna have to do the talking, so you're the one rolling.
Okay. Dedicated focus of persuasion.
Yeah. Or it knows you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you a threat for an extra dice.
How much threat? Just the
I
one?
forgot to roll veteran.
Just the one.
Oh yeah, veteran. Roll veteran. That could matter.
Oh yeah, probably will. Also, I'm assuming the ship does not have reserve power at this point. Most likely, logically.
Question.
Looks like I don't get it back.
Okay. So, unfortunately, that is only 2 successes from what I see, and you need 4. So you could spend determination and reroll the 18 and the 19.
I already spent my determination.
Oh, that's right, because you don't have veteran, and Meridian failed her veteran roll, so...
I guess we're not talking to it.
Not this way, anyway.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is you try and open comms and give the standard Starfleet spiel, but it does not seem to respond. In fact, it just continues to expand and contract and defy all explanation of the normal laws of physics.
Anyone else have ideas?
I am starting to formulate one. It's going to need input from the rest of you before we have a full idea, but we have external hollow projectors, and it seems to be doing geometry stuff is the only way I could describe what that is.
Fractals,
So, yeah, it's being fractally. Maybe we give it some of our standard Euclidean geometry as a projection.
A treat.
Yeah. We use the hollow projectors to hollow project some of our geometry to help explain what we are, like our 3-dimensionalness. Because I'm not convinced that is not a higher dimensional entity trying to understand what we are.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead with it. That
Sounds like a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Okay. We should just shrug. So maybe I could get us out of this.
You got us into it.
ELH, I would like to project using our external hollow projectors. Triangle, square, sphere, some dodecahedron.
I just want you to be clear that if you start projecting this and you roll complications, you know that one meme video of like, and where does the circle go? That's right, the square hole. Yeah. And where does the hexagon go? You're right, it's the square hole.
Yeah. If I roll complications, I start putting things in the square hole. I get it, and then it gets mad because that's not where that's supposed to go.
I'm just trying to comprehend what even role this would be. I did this to myself. Let us say that this is a daring engineering on your part.
Okay.
The Wolf-Rayet will be assisting you with a communications engineering. I think the first I've ever had anyone roll at communications engineering, so well done.
Thank you. This is absurd, but that's kind of what I focus on, is just desperately, frantically trying to explain Euclidean geometry with shapes.
Uh-oh.
There's a complication from the ship. So difficulty on this is probably going to be a 4.
Okay.
Oh, how thoughtful.
Okay. Um. Do I have? Do I have a focus of power systems?
Nope.
And I don't feel like subspace mechanics has any bearing on explaining basic Euclidean geometry.
Nope.
Okay. Work field dynamics, that's not applying either.
Nope.
Okay. This is probably a bad idea to give any amount of threat trying this, I feel like. Okay, I'll give you 1, just in case I roll additional complications I could reroll.
Okay.
So I'll be rolling 3, and if I'm really lucky, we can still succeed this. Okay.
All right. So I can offer you a success with 2 complications.
Do we think that's funny? I think it's funny. What's the rest of the crew think?
You go for a success. We'll take the complications.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So let me describe what happens first, and then we'll roll in the complications. So first, the vast fractal gray serpent that is stretching before you, it opens up previously unseen 6 translucent wings that are made out of light that seem to pass through one another and a pulsating spiral maw. And as the seconds tick by, you realize that this being is expanding past the entire periphery of your vision, as if it is growing geometrically with every passing moment. And the more you gaze at the creature, the more its fractal patterns continue to repeat. And the beautiful things about fractals is that you can zoom in forever, and you will always get new patterns. But eventually, as this creature becomes so massive that your sanity tells you that it cannot be real, the illusion, or whatever you'd care to justify it in your mind as, the vision shatters like a broken mirror. And the creature is now approaching you with its spiraling maw, and is going to sit uncomfortably close to you. And complication number 1 is that there is going to be a burst of energy that washes over the Wolf-Rayet. Now, I have double-checked this on my math, and this is something that I now have to roll a D100 on to determine if something happens.
Oh dear God. What have I done to this thing?
So, let us roll a D100. Okay, that is unfortunately very bad for you.
Oh no.
So, complication 1 is that as this washes over the Wolf-Rayet, there is a cacophony of alarms and just shouts coming from the computer as your defenses do everything they can to keep you from being erased from reality.
Whoa.
And lucky for you, you are saved from being erased from reality. However, as there's a flash of light and you find yourself back in Andromeda, you run a few sensor scans. Pandora's Gate isn't there. The flotilla that's supposed to be there isn't there. You are in Andromeda, but it is a very different Andromeda than where you left. And since I know you're going to ask this question anyway, I'll just preempt it. Congratulations! You've entered into an alternate dimension, an alternate reality. So well done there.
Nice.
Okay. I have good news. And also bad news about this.
The entire crew's looking at you right now.
The good news is the drive was built for us to be able to dimension shift, so we could probably return home. The bad news is that thing, it definitely chased us. And I don't think we want to take it home with us as it chases us again.
So what do you recommend?
I recommend we think. And also check on the status of Starfleet in this time. Can we
Well-
get some long range scans?
Would you like to tell me how we're going to check on Starfleet when there's not a Pandora's Gate?
Well, yeah, we can just not shift into imaginary time and then fly over in about 1.3 hours. We could just take the long way without the time travel.
And
Which,
if that thing's chasing us, you want to take it back to the Milky Way galaxy.
not particularly. Well, actually, yeah. The galactic barrier will keep it out. If
And
there's a galactic
what-
barrier here.
Yeah, and it's a big presumption to say that it's chasing us.
Well,
I think it found us, and we found it. Right now, there's no proof of it chasing us.
that's
Because I don't see it right
correct.
now there.
That is very correct. This might be the you ever find a bug in your dwelling and instead of killing it, you frantically go, ew, get that away, and you put it outside, not where it belongs, but what you think is close enough? It might have done that.
So you're telling me it put us in a cup and stuck us outside?
It might have put us in a cup and stuck us outside. It did try and I think it might have tried to delete us from reality, and when that didn't work, it decided to put us back vaguely where it thinks we are supposed to be.
Carl, can we get a sensor scan and see what's around us right now?
Well, if you would care to make the roll, this is a reason science assisted by the ship's sensor science. For once in this entire session, it's a difficulty of 1.
Oh, goodness.
Woof. What was the ship's roll there?
Sensor science.
Oh, thank God we have
That's
Q
nice,
powers
okay.
good in chat.
Yeah, you did get a momentum from chat. Thank you, chat.
Can I get a focus of temporal mechanics?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. All right, well, 3 successes means you go up to 3 momentum. Well done there. So, do you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad
Give me the
news
bad
first.
news.
The bad
Yeah,
news
bad news.
is not only are you outside of your quantum reality, you are also outside of linear time. Now, what I mean by that is, you know, we always joke about Discovery going, oh yeah, fuck TOS era, we're going to just skip all the way to the 32nd. You are roughly 29th century right now, roughly. So you're in a quantum reality different from your own, and you're in the 29th century. So have fun.
5 centuries later, or 4
Mhm.
centuries later.
Yep.
Well,
Okay. So we are going to have to activate the drive in its entirety at least one more time to get back.
Meridian, we get back,
It's
you're
funny,
taking this thing apart.
and I still don't feel anything older than
That's-
100, and come on.
Very fair. What I think I have done here is do you
There's an
remember
Earth story.
the-
There's an Earth
Yeah.
story of Icarus,
I was
and you've now
thinking
flown
Icarus.
too close to the sun.
Yes, I have. It's almost as if there is some entity out there that is completely separate from our reality that is saying that it is very close to done tolerating my shenanigans and I should go back to doing normal science.
Yes, there's some all-seeing mind flayer that has, listened to you and it's like, okay, you could try this, but it's going to be your fault.
I rolled a 30, guys. A 30. It had a 50% chance of working, and I rolled a 30. That's not good.
Well, I'm sure it's better than a 100.
Well, and 100 would have been really bad for it and really good for you, so.
A one would just erase the entire game.
Rolling that one, ELH just turns off stream and goes to
Yeah.
the fucking bed. Okay. Does anyone know what on earth that was?
We're gonna ignore it. We're gonna ignore the what that was, and let's get focused on the getting back to where we came from.
Okay, so we can do this in steps. So my running theory on the matter is when I mentioned the whole proto-starring being very, very loud in imaginary time. So the good news is we're in Andromeda right now. So we don't need to activate any proto-warpy shenanigans that will be extremely loud. So we don't need to be loud about it, but we do need to turn the engine. We do need to turn the imaginary time shifting back on, and then phase ourselves back in line with our reality, and then recollapse in.
All right, the captain's gonna walk over to Meridian, put his hand on her shoulder, and go, Meridian, we don't need you to explain it. We just need you to do it.
Just do it. You got it.
You're spinning.
All right. ELH, without activating the propulsion system, because half of this thing isn't a propulsion system. Without activating the propulsion system, I would like to route the Chronotons into the phase cloak, shift us into imaginary time, then modify our phase variance for our timeline, and then recollapse us back in to our timeline in our universe, not the mirror universe or whatever universe this is, because I built this thing to be capable of jumping to mirror universe or any other universe just as easily as forwards.
All right. Well, it's still going to be a difficulty 5. I'm just going to tell you, it's still going to be a difficulty of 5 before I start spending threat.
Yeah, I mean, it can do it.
I'm so glad I failed science in high school.
I apologize in advance, because the fact that I comprehend the science to do this and could, if I wanted to, hand ELH a freaking...
I had to tell her no. I'm like, no, don't show me the
paper.
math. I have suspension of disbelief. Just tell me if it works.
Yeah, I'm like, I can prove to you with the math that what I want to do is possible if we assume that the basic fundamentals of warp travel is possible to begin with.
All right, well, here's what it's going to be. It is going to be another control science. It is going to be another engine science. It is going to be a difficulty of 5.
Okay.
I have 12 threat. I'm going to spend 2 of it to immediately, once again, create a difficulty of 6. And then I will spend 5 more threat to once again make it a complication range of 16 to 20.
What number do I put in there for complication range?
In 5 for complication range.
5 for complication range. Okay. I feel like I have a focus here.
You do. And you have 3 momentum if you so wish to use it.
Well, I need to give you at least 1 threat.
Could do 3 momentum, 3 threat.
Do we think that's a good idea?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to do that, which takes me up to 5. And unfortunately, my veteran did not cool down. I really could have used a veteran cooldown right now. Okay. Because I can't use it. Is there any weird way? Can you challenge? Is it possible to challenge a value to regain determination? Is that a thing you can do?
It's definitely a thing you do. The only thing is that when you challenge a value, you have to cross it out, and at the end of the session, you have to replace it with a new value. Usually one that runs contrary to what you're challenging in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I feel like I should probably do this. Can I challenge a value? My first love is the ship, and it ends up being something on the lines of, I have created a monstrosity of this ship, I am terrified of it.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
She's terrified of the monster she has created. She no longer loves this thing. It is terrifying to her.
It's almost like we're paralleling Frankenstein right now, you know.
Yes. Okay, so I now have a determination to expend.
Hmm.
Okay, can I do something silly?
This
You
entire
have an
session
option.
has been silly. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Recon and report any and all threats to the continuation of Starfleet in Andromeda. Me, I'm the threat.
Sure. Why not?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
self-report. I have done something terrible. No one ever do this. As the fucking.
It is a mission directive of the Wolf-Rayet, so you can do that. Yes.
That feels fitting. Okay. That's the second time I've used that one. Okay. With determination and value, roll the dang dice. Woof, okay.
8 successes with
Wow.
Wolf-Rayet assisting with 9. So you get a grand total of 3 momentum back for your trouble.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So this time, as you shunt yourselves through reality, you end up almost initially where you started. And when you check the chronometer, you're maybe about 5 minutes after you were supposed to have left. But as far as you can tell, you're back in your reality, you're back in your appropriate time, and to anyone else, you just sort of vanished for 5 minutes.
I feel like we should probably let the official record show that we vanished for 5 minutes and never do that again.
There's not going to be an official record of this. You're going to dismantle this thing. You're going to delete all record that you ever built this thing, and then I'm going to turn every scrap of data over to somebody higher up than us.
I don't think I could disassemble this safely without a space dock.
I recommend you figure it out. You built it. Unbuild it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I can unbuild it. But you're, man, I'm gonna have to do so much time paperwork again. As Meridian concludes, the only way to unbuild it is to send herself a coded message back in time to, in all caps, do not build it!
Well, if it helps, Carl, the ship's AI, or ship's ESH, just says, well, there's always option, we do have other protostars in small form on certain desk. We could make it big and then send this protostar into sun or into black hole. That would get rid of it pretty easily, would it not?
We do have the second protostar.
You're not sending my ship into a black hole. You're going to fix it.
Alright, fixing it. As Meridian just walks to engineering, hopefully not followed by anyone, because she has to do time shenanigans again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have bad news for you. I have a threat. So I'm going to spend 2 of it. Then when you go to send yourself a coded message in the past, the message does not send. And in fact, you get an overlay that specifically says, alert, your attempt to alter the timeline has been noticed by the Department of Temporal Investigations. Please remain
God
calm and wait for an
fucking damn
agent
it.
to arrive.
You know
Right.
what? Meridian to cannon.
Do we have a brig on this ship?
You do.
Yes.
It's small, but you got one.
Well, that's all I need is small.
I am not necessarily small.
You could put a snake in it.
Meridian to
Mhm.
cannon.
Yes, Meridian.
You know your old friends?
Which ones?
The
TTI.
time variety.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they apparently don't want me fixing it. So, yeah, I might need to have you diplomacy that while I run more math to see if I can turn this thing off.
Well, since there's 3 players, I have to spend 2 threat per player to do this, which means I have to spend all 6 threat. But as you say that, and as you're like, oh great, we gotta look out for DTI showing up, you all know what a Wells
They go
class
up.
looks like, right? You all remember Wells
yeah.
from
Oh, yeah.
Voyager?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a
Beautiful-
Wells
beautiful shit.
class literally just sort of boop into existence next to the Wolf-Rayet. And you get a hail.
So,
Gannon, do you
Answer-
want that,
answer
or
the hail.
are you gonna make me answer that because this
Meridian?
is my problem?
Meridian, you've done enough today. Let me see if I can talk my way out of this for you.
Thanks, boss.
On screen.
So appearing on screen is a human. At least he looks human anyway. And of course, you see the futuristic bridge and the timeline view screen and all the really fancy, cool things on a Wells class bridge. But the individual is wearing a 29th century uniform. He is wearing a badge that you would know definitely belongs to the time cops, quote unquote. But he says, well, I can see that you all have finally created the device that you were always destined to create. This is not going to be easy for me to explain, so I was simply asked, do you want to have the conversation on my vessel or on yours?
Oh, please. Come over and see us. We really don't need to be messing with the timeline anymore by seeing anything over there.
Very good. Expect me in 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Feel free to arrive in our briefing room. We'll have hors d'oeuvres ready for you.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. And then the view screen cuts out.
Does Meridian recognize this person at this point?
Nope, you
Or
have
does
no
Cannon?
idea who this guy is.
Does Cannon recognize him from his temporal shenanigans?
You do. I'm just trying to figure out where in my damn notes I put his name. Where? Because it was a Japanese name, because I wanted to be inclusive. What is his name? Yanagi. That's his name, Yanagi.
Yanagi, okay.
I'll put it in chat. His name is Yanagi. There you go.
Is that his first name or last name? that's the
That
only-
is his
Both,
surname,
both.
which is the one you call him by.
Yeah.
Yeah, his full
Okay.
name, if you care and it ever becomes relevant, he is Captain Yanagi Utamara, but because Japan does names backwards, you call him Captain Yanagi.
Yeah, Yanagi, yeah.
Unless he messes with me, then I'm going to call him Utamara. All right, well, let's get the briefing room together. Meridian, you're going to be very, very quiet for this meeting, and you're going to look very, very upset that you have been reprimanded.
Yes, sir. But on the plus side, I
Da-da-da-da-da.
was
The
always
plus sides.
supposed to have made it. It's not. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm not going that joke again. That one did not go over well last time.
So we'll get Instant Reed to set up the observation lounge or whatever we're meeting them at, so it looks nice and you're kind of trying to be impressive here.
Okay.
With the hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
with the hors
hors
d'oeuvres.
d'oeuvres.
Mhm. And as the good captain said, he arrives in your briefing room after 3 minutes and 15 seconds. He takes in a deep breath, looks around, and goes, it's different than I imagined. I've always seen it in the records, but it is one thing to be seeing it in person. Well, it's a business. And he picks up a bit of finger food, looks at it, puts it back. What you encountered out there is what is known as a Nexus Dragon. It is a entity that exists between space and entropy. It is quite literally something that exists as a predator of the laws of physics, paracausality, if you will. And it has the ability to erase what it views as wounds in the fabric of reality. Now, your drive that you've created, Meridian, creates wounds in reality. And when the Nexus Dragon found out, it naturally went to correct the problem. Now, the whole reason we're having this conversation is because this needed to happen. And it was very lucky that you figured out how to come back to our reality. Because otherwise, this would have been an example for all future scientists to never, ever, ever create this drive ever again. Where if any detection of this drive were ever created, there is a signature and a manner in which to shut it down very quickly. Now, I'm not saying you can't have your protostar drive. That's fine, if still a little bit violent in terms of propulsion technology. You just can't use a phased Phase-Chroniton, whatever you're calling it.
Meridian quietly nods in agreement.
Now,
Keshin likes this guy already.
The good news is that on my vessel, I have the technology in which that we can safely dismantle your black hole containment drive. I have that ability. However, in order for my people to do that work and not violate the timeline further, I'm going to have to ask that all of you not leave this exact room. And in fact, everyone else on the Wolf-Rayet will be time locked. I'm going to extend the courtesy that you can have a conversation, eat these hors d'oeuvres, and wait for me to finish, but everybody else on the Wolf-Rayet will be time locked until our work is done.
Wow.
Perfectly acceptable.
Meridian nods in agreement. She's been told to shut the fuck up.
Well, unless there's anything else, I have a timeline to correct, so we will begin work immediately.
Thank you, Captain.
Hmm.
Please let us know when you've completed your repair of our vessel.
Oh, I believe it'll take approximately 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 16 seconds. Beginning now.
Meridian starts a timer.
And yeah, Yanagi beams away. And sure enough, if you were to try and leave the observation lounge, the doors do not open, even when you try the manual locks. Communication outside the room is impossible. You can, of course, move about the room. You have access to a restroom. I'm not that mean, but you basically are
God.
stuck in the observation lounge, is what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, Meridian, I think you're getting off rather easy here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was pretty darn close to at a loss for how to dismantle that.
They could have rewritten your timeline.
Yeah. Which would have affected yours too. So I think I should stick to non-propulsion
This reality?
system. That too. And I hope
Think
they don't
they'll
steal our
rip-
face cloak.
Yumit's gonna make another one,
That's also very true.
but he didn't seem to have any issue with anything except for the drive
The
you
black
created.
hole. Yeah. So did
You'll
I
have to see
build?
what the. Mm.
It is not lost on me that we instructed the previous individual to not build the Torment Nexus. And then I think I built a reality Torment Nexus.
Not just something that punches holes in the fabric reality.
I need to do less ship work. Maybe I should, I think I should get a hobby.
Oh,
I have good
okay.
hobby ideas.
Have you considered macrame?
Oh God. Yeah.
I have not.
I was going to suggest gardening, but that's bioengineering there. But no.
Maybe I should spend more time on the holodeck doing normal things. Do we have any good fishing programs on the holodeck?
Of course we do.
Lovely. I should spend time doing that instead of trying to whatever on earth I was thinking of doing next with the shuttlecraft. I think I was going to try and make the shuttle bigger on the inside. I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, let's stick to a little bit more normal engineering tasks for a bit.
Yes.
Like not trying to break the laws of physics every afternoon.
Well, they're more like guidelines. Okay,
While
but
we're
what
stuck in here,
about...
while we're stuck in here, do we have computer access?
No, the computer is locked out. If you try to access anything on the computer, it just doesn't give you anything.
Including Carl?
Including Carl, unfortunately.
Oh.
Unless you want to say Carl's in here on a mobile emitter. Otherwise, no, Carl is locked out.
Oh no, I was gonna have him keep an eye on these DTI people.
Nah, unfortunately,
Make sure
the
they're
DTI are a little bit wary of Carl, so they unfortunately Carl is locked out.
Hey, at least they're not verbally harassing us for continuing to use the future Janeway tech.
I believe they worked something out with that one, simply because it was destined to be created eventually.
It's Janeway. I think Janeway gets a pass for
Well,
breaking.
you know, they say in temporal investigations, there's a right way, the wrong way, and then the Janeway.
Yeah, the Janeway is not what we did today. I
Dude.
think we did the wrong way. No,
Nope.
we got back, so I think we did the right way to do it the wrong way.
So you might have to wait a while for your admiral tip.
Also, to your earlier question of, did I get this approved by Starfleet? No.
Oh, cat's out of the bag.
You think with the arrival of the Department of Temporal Investigations might have told me that to begin with.
Yeah, that's why I said that. That's why I dodged the question by saying that the fact that an admiral owes me latinum is entirely unrelated.
I'm gonna have Ensign Reed be your commanding officer for a while.
Wow.
Well, they do seem to be pretty good at whatever we throw at them. Also, while we have some downtime, when are we promoting MITs?
Well, I mean, when do you want to promote MITs?
At some point, for sure. I mean, we've left MITs in charge on several occasions against our better judgment, and they haven't started a war yet.
And that is an upside for her.
It's definitely impressive.
I just love that we've come this far that not starting a war is something to be admired. I just want to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Keshan's the only member of my crew that hasn't done something drastically horrible, considering Mitt started a fight club and Meridian punched holes in reality.
Yeah. Which is, again, impressive to pull off.
Commander Keshan, are you running a black market smuggling ring that I don't know about?
No, sir.
Good. I don't want to
Are you
know
running
that.
If I were running, mind you, if I were running a black market operation, I would definitely say the same answer. No, sir.
Okay. Are you
That's the
running
right
a
answer.
black hole smuggling ring or whatever black market? Are you running a smuggling ring that Canon does know about?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We just had to cover both bases on this. If the computer is frozen, we can't get more hors d'oeuvres, so we're going to need to ration these for the next hour.
It's an hour and a half. You'll be fine.
And I believe the programming on the replicators is independent of the computer. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want, you can replicate a drink or something, but you know, if you try to like replicate a phaser and try to shoot your way out of the observation round, probably going to get a little bit of a response from the DTI.
well, you know, I do actually have a phaser because ESH
Carl did
gave
give
me
you
one.
one. Mm-hmm.
I would like to replicate that chess-related game thing.
What, 3D chess? Calto?
Yeah, Calto,
Oh,
or whatever
okay.
it is. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the 3D chess thing that definitely has a name.
No, I think it's
Just
literally
3D
just
chess.
3D chess.
Yeah.
It is actually 3D chess, yeah.
Okay, I feel like they would have been more creative with that. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I will.
Unfortunately, not.
No, and from what I understand, it is a motherfucker to actually get it to stay still because it is so unstable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I prefer 4D chess, which I do actually know the rules on how to play because
of course you
I mean,
do. Because of
I'm
course
playing
you do.
Captain Meridian.
Wow.
Is the fact that I know how to actively play 4D chess, not 4D chess with multiverse time travel, which they would definitely be upset with me if I started trying to play that on the replicator.
Oh, Lord.
I do vaguely know how to do that one, but I actively know all the rules of 4D chess.
No.
Well, the good news is that however you choose to occupy your time, precisely at the moment that the repairs, as I'm going to call them, are meant to be finished, Captain Yanagi rematerializes in the observation lounge and reports, "Your vessel has been returned to the state before you began the experiment. All data has been wiped completely from all storage units. I would recommend erasing it from your minds, or at least not telling anyone else about them, because if you do, you'll trigger the same protocol that caused us to show up in the first place. Do you
And if
understand
you
myself?
erase,
Do you understand me?
yes, of course.
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, there you go, Captain Cannon. You understand the assignment. Very well. Speaking of Cannon, we are looking into peacefully reintegrating you with your original timeline. However, there's still some things you need to do here first before we can return you safely.
Yeah, you've told me that before.
Well, all I can really tell you is that we're working on it. At least we are working on it.
Yes, I'm sure you have your top men on it.
No, it's just me and another captain at the moment. We're kind of going back and forth about when it's appropriate to send you back.
Well, good luck with that one, because you've been telling me that for nigh on 20 years now.
Well, we have to do it right, because if we send you back too early, then you never come to the Wolf-Rayet, and this entire thing doesn't happen, and we have a bootstrap paradox. And let me tell you, those are not fun to deal with.
Uh-huh. So are you done now? Can we be done with the Department of Temporal Investigations for a bit?
Well, as long as you don't mess with time, you won't have any issues from me.
I will keep a better watch on Meridian to make sure she doesn't violate the Temporal Prime Directive anymore.
See that you do. And then he beams away. And then looking out of the windows of the observation lounge, the Wells class does a spore drive-like spin, and then boop, out of reality.
Wait a
Yeah.
second, they kept the displacement activated spore hub drive? That thing works! She shouts very loudly.
You saw nothing.
She pouts.
Can we punish you for something that they've erased from existence?
No, I don't think you can, because then you'll have to put in the logs something, and then there's going to be
Okay.
questions.
Well,
Well,
I think your computer access might be restricted for the next couple of weeks.
That's fine, I have my shuttle.
No TV. No TV for you.
Shuttle? What shuttle?
The one that's not Starfleet property.
You mean the one that's got my name on it now?
You better not. It's literally a Meridian class shuttle. Don't touch my stuff.
Well, when you put flames on it and you write Captain Cannon across the side, it looks much better like it's a Cannon class shuttle.
Yeah, but then it just sounds like it's going to explode.
Most of your stuff explodes.
Then why are you trying to take it?
Just to punish you for violating the Temporal Prime Directive, making me deal with the Department of Temporal Investigations again.
Fine, then I'll sit here and watch. Go fly it. Good luck.
Reed comes in. Sirs, I was told that I was supposed to deliver a message to Keshin.
Oh.
And
By whom?
I don't know. I was just told to hand you this on a pad. And he hands you
Okay.
a pad.
Uh-huh.
And it is a message from your future self.
Oh, okay.
And your future self gives you an appropriate guideline or a code word that Keshin would understand it is coming from yourself.
Uh-huh.
And all the message says is that beware taking the third left.
Okay.
But with that handled, and with Cannon basically scolding Meridian like a teenage daughter, I think that's where we'll end today's session. Because I think we've all decided to come to the conclusion that session never happened. That was never a thing. DTI has erased it from all of our minds. It just never happened.
I feel like if you erase it from Meridian's mind, she would literally end up accidentally doing it
Oh,
again.
she would definitely do it again. She would 100%.
So she has to know not to do it. So she has to live with this knowledge.
And somewhere in engineering on a shelf is that little model of the Wolf-Rayet, and inside is a very tiny little light that says "Scanners recording."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, if we ever have to use that thing, it's going to be really weird when there's a gigantic scanning beam inside of it, and we're just like, what's that? And they go,
All right. Well, Twitch stick around because we might raid somebody but YouTube. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, YouTube.